All right, man. 210 Boxing TV here with Robert Garcia, good friend Ernesto Chavez, Teofimo Lopez in the house. All right, man. So a lot of people were complaining about Shakur Stevenson's fight on Thursday. You were there actually in person in Vegas. Talk about it a little bit, Robert.
I was there for the first 4 rounds. After that, I left. I went home.
A lot of
boring ass fight, bro.
A lot of people are criticizing Shakur, saying that the fight was boring, saying that, how can you compare yourself to Tank with that kind of performance? Do you feel like that? He won the title. He won his third world title, third division. But do you feel like that performance hurt him?
I think he's one of the best fighters. He's one of the better fighters in the world. He's very talented, but he fought too cautious, too careful. Didn't take a chance. Sometimes even if your opponent's dangerous, you still got to take a little chance. You still got to show the fans, the people a little bit more. And he didn't. He just did whatever it took to win his third world title in 3 divisions. But it just didn't help him a little. Especially if he wants to fight somebody like Tank or those big fights against Haney, stuff like that. It hurt him a little.
You did an interview with Fern about a week ago, and in the interview, Fern, the guy that does it in California, the one that interviewed you over there.
And, your boy that works for you.
Yes. And when he interviewed you, you basically said that you don't know if anyone could ever beat Shakur. Do you still feel that way, or do you just feel his performance was not up to par?
Look, especially the way he fought, like it's gonna be hard. Like if he continues to fight like that, it's gonna be hard to beat him because he doesn't take chances. He doesn't allow his opponents to. You gotta fight somebody. You gotta have somebody like Marcos Maidana, who fucking fights like street fighter. To be able to maybe even get him pin him into the ropes and land punches, because he fought too careful, man. Like nobody's really gonna want to nobody's really nobody's like happy to challenge him. Like nobody out there is like, oh shit, now I want to fight Shakur. Like nobody, because like he brings no excitement to the fights. So honestly, like nobody wants to fight him because of that. It's just the way he fought.
Pitbull Cruz, right? They had turned down Shakur a while back, and one of the reasons they said is because they don't want to chase Shakur, and it would be a boring fight.
Imagine after this, fuck, even worse.
Where does Shakur go from here, and what does he need to do to kind of build his name up to get his stock back a little bit? Because it feels like, yeah, he won the title, but his stock dropped. What does he have to do?
Look, especially if he's close to maybe doing something big with Tank or a big name. There's a lot of big names that I would 135 is stacked with talent. For him to get a big fight, he needs to come back and make a statement. Fight. It's alright if he fights cautious the first 4 or 5 rounds. Okay, let's say Tank does the same. Tank loses a lot of rounds. Tank was losing rounds against Garcia. Tank was losing rounds against Rollies. But then he goes and does what he has to do and knocks motherfuckers out. That's what Shakur needs to do. That's what Shakur needs to do. Like show the world that okay, I'm smart. I fight smart. I'm very cautious the first few rounds, but then I go out there and take care of my business. He didn't do that. He fought the whole 12 rounds. Honestly, I didn't even see that. After the 4th round, I took off. I went home.
A lot of people now are saying, okay, well, how is Shakur gonna ever be like Tank when Tank's selling out? And like you said, Tank, he closes the show. He may lose at the beginning, the first 3-4 rounds, but against Hector Garcia, against Rollies, against Ryan Garcia, all these fights, he wins by knockout and he closes the show. With Shakur, it kind of feels like we're waiting for that. Okay, he's gonna take over, but then the fight was very cautious, and we got a lackluster fight from the first. We got a lackluster fight from the first to the 12th.
Yes, madre. Almost fuck it.
So Robert, do you feel like that's the difference with Tank and Shakur? That Tank closed the show and Shakur right now, he's just doing enough to win the rounds?
Shakur he did enough just to win the rounds. I don't know if I can't say he's doing. I think maybe he just wanted to secure this title. Maybe he won't do it in his next fight. Hopefully he doesn't, because he's very talented, bro. He's very talented. He's got a great future. I've always said he's one of the best fighters in the world. but that performance hurt him. It really did hurt him. He needs to come back and prove and show the world, that he's not that he won't do that again.
Me and you were big fans of Shakur. It's not like we're haters.
No,
So
I'm
some
not-
people some
I'm
people
not
might hear
hating.
this and be like, "Oh, these guys are haters," but we're not haters. We're just being real.
You know what? I got some messages, random people. I don't even know who they are, bro. Telling me, why you like Shakur so much? Why do you think it's gonna be such an easy fight for him? I don't even like him. I don't really know him or anything. I just know he's a great fighter, and I thought he was gonna clearly dominate and clearly perform the way
A pound for pound fighter should
like a
should
pound for
perform.
pound fighter should perform, but he didn't. Some people were actually giving me a hard time on social media, like, why do you like him so much, or he still needs a lot to prove, and yeah, he does, and especially after his last fight, he needs a lot to prove.
Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney right now after the performance. Who wins that
Shakur
fight?
versus Teofimo. Come on, bro. Shakur versus Teofimo. That's the fight we want to see.
Shakur versus Teofimo. Who wins that fight?
Shakur versus Teofimo.
Who wins that fight?
Man, I don't even
Wait to
think-
be at 140 because
I
Teofimo's
don't
at
even
140.
think I don't even think Teofimo would want to fight him, bro. Honestly, cause see the way he performed, the way who wants to fight him? It's gonna be a slow, stinky fight. Who wants to fight him? Tank doesn't want to fight him, or if they do, I know for a fact, his value went down a lot. You know what I mean? Like bad. Haney said it himself. Fuck, I was being too generous, giving him 25%. I should give him 10%. You know what I mean? Because his value did drop.
If Devin Haney fights Shakur, who wins that fight?
It'll be the same thing, bro. With fighting Shakur, it's gonna be a fight where, especially Haney, who is not like a brawler, an aggressive fighter. So it'll be a fucking boring ass fight. So I don't know who's fucking the judge, whoever the fucking judges wanted to give it to.
With Tank, right? Tank, I saw a video Tank did. My guys at the Risen Pro podcast, I forgot what it's called, Calvin Ford and them. And Tank was basically saying, I don't get booed. You know what I mean? Like, no one ever boos me in my fights. Do you feel like the people, because they said in Vegas that people were booing Shakur.
Bro, I was there, bro. I was there for
and there was a lot of
first 4 rounds.
seats.
Everybody was booing. It was bad. It was sad. Everybody was booing.
Do you feel like with Shakur, right? If he was to ever fight Gervonta Davis, because the people are saying, well, Tank's not going to be able to punch him, and that Shakur would win. But do you feel like Shakur would have to do a lot more to beat a guy like Gervonta Davis?
He has to, and that's what he needs to do in his next fight. Because people will forget his last performance if he performs better in his next fight. Whoever he fights, I don't care who it is. He's got to go out there and perform, make a statement. At least I'm not saying he's going to knock everybody out, because maybe he doesn't have the power to knock guys out like Tank does. But he needs to go out there and show the world that he will fight. And people will forget his performance against Dos Santos. People will if they see him perform, aggressive and wanting to go out and prove the world something positive. But if he doesn't, then it won't change.
Shakur versus Tank, who wins that fight? If they were to fight
that's
next.
The thing that I don't even know if the world would be excited about that fight. It would be if he would have gone out and dominated and maybe, I'm not saying knock out, because maybe he doesn't have the power, but at least dominate and
Try, basically.
win convincingly against Dos Santos. Then people will want to see the fight. But right now, nobody cares about him against Tank. Honestly, at least I don't fucking care about that fight right now. La neta, fuck.